Hello friends, hope you are doing well. In this tutorial, I'm going to discuss about how to use Figma, a design software for designing UI and UX. If you are planning to learn web design and a little bit of UI design, then this tutorial is going to be an introduction about Figma. There are many other alternatives available like Photoshop, Adobe XD, but Figma is free of cost and you can create nice layout using this. So especially if a developer is more focused on the design part, then understanding these design tools is very important. Figma has a nice getting started help section where you can get more details about how to install Figma on your PC or Mac device. So you can download Figma as a desktop app using this link, and I have already downloaded Figma, so it is installed now on my desktop. And after installing that, understanding its element is very important. We are going to explore the features of Figma. In that case, in the setup section, you can set your preferred language. You can change Figma theme. You can create a Figma account, then explore your Figma account. You can configure browser for Figma, choose your browser for downloads folder, select keyboard layout, then find file, projects, people, then Figma browser requirements. All those documentation is done on the setup section. Figma for desktop and mobile. As a desktop app, you can install it. Then under the sharing and permission section, you can collaborate with your client so that you can share your design with client for more feedback. You can work as a team. You can add password protection to a file. Then there is a section for file and project management. When you are creating some prototype, you can reuse some element. Then you can keep some favorite files and project, rename some file. You can delete the file or you can duplicate an existing file. As a team, you can invite more members for giving feedback on your design. You can also restrict copy and sharing file. You can accept invitation from other members. As an organization, you can use Figma for creating a design team. So all those things are discussed in this help section. So why we are reading this first, why we are starting this first, because we when we will explore the application, we'll find these features. Then you can connect this Figma app to other apps like Microsoft Teams. You can add Figma files to Google Calendar events, and you can also use AWS Amplify Studio. Get Figma notification to Slack, and then you can also embed Figma to other software. Okay, import from Figma. So these are the advanced documentation. Now based on these points, let us explore this application. So here is a Figma document. I'm trying to give it a name like my fashion shop. So say FHIN fashion shop. I'm creating an e-commerce layout. So I have now just a layout. There is a section. In this section you can create a new design file, edit, view, object, text, vector, plugin. All those points are there. Here is the selector for moving and scaling. Here is the frame and size. These are the shapes like rectangle, line, arrow. This is a vector pen for vector drawing, pen, pencil, text. This section is for components and plugins. This section is moving, for moving the design. Okay, now create a new design here. And trying to give it a name like homepage, fashion shop homepage. As we are designing for a desktop, so I'm taking a layout of say this size. It is 1440 scores 1024. Now I want to create a very simple layout here for a fashion shop. So first, the title of this. Here in Photoshop we generally create some grid line, so we want to see how to add grid line on Figma. For starting a layout, a grid is very important on generally if your developer is going to develop this page using a framework like Bootstrap, then a 12 column grid is very helpful. So how to add grid on this page? First, so on the right side you will see an option called layout grid. In that section, click on the style and a grid, new grid will be added. Now it is like a graph paper where 10 pixel grid is visible. If you increase or decrease the size of this layout, this grid will not change. For example, I am reducing the size, it is not changing. Okay, I am changing this grid. Now it is, I'm adding some column. At present there are 5 column. Let's add 12 column. And the gutter size is 30. Okay, now we can think about the bootstrap layout here. We can also add some rows, but this column is good enough. Let us first add a logo or title. So I'm adding this fashion store. You can increase the text size from here. Just select this text, Control A, and then select the option. Select the font style. It will show a lot of fonts. I'm using a font called Outfit. It is a Google font, and I'm making all caps lock. Bold, and size is 40. Now select a color. I'm using the red or pink color. You can select the color option from here. Okay, it will be dark. Let us create a navigation menu here. So I'm adding another text section. And this time shop. I want to use a different font here. I'm using Lato. And font size is say 16 or 20. Okay. Shop. About. News. Contact. Support or support. What is another? Let us add some icons, and for icon I'm using a plugin, material symbol, and when you run it you can find any symbol. I'm using an envelope, a search button, so for example I like this one, and then I'm adding, by clicking on this it is inserted, then user, that is use this one, and card. In just one instance, you can add one symbol, deselect it, and then search another. And place them all together. So I'm adding 3 symbols. I'm going to add an additional navigation bar at the top. So I'm selecting one rectangle here, and try to fill its color using a light green color. Or I can use some light blue color. By the way, if you want to view this design without this grid, then select this desktop layout and just click on this I button. This I button. Now you can see it is looking like this. You can select 3 items all together and move them to this. Look at this grid again. That will help you to set this layout. Just clicking on this desktop and view this. We want to move this 3 item till the end of this page, or better to this. Okay, bring this together. Let us add a new text here about a notification. Is color, this text color, it is behind this. Let's move this text to the top of this rectangle. Now type. I need to reduce the size of this font. And the color is here. You can select the color is white. Free shipping in the US. And you can add some additional icons about social media or contact number here. Let's make its color white and deselect this. Another is for email ID. change this color to white. Just Control C, Control V, select this text and move it to there. Control C, Control V, select this text and move it there. Now we can change this text. I'm changing this to a phone number +1. I'm changing this to a email ID. Deselect. Now we have completed the design of header section. It is very simple. The logo, navigation, few items, few iconic links, and then a contact number and an email ID. Okay, now we will design this header area. We'll add a slider and a banner here. We have created a rectangle here and adding a color, pink color as a background, and then now we are going to place an image from this image folder. So looking at this grid, and I'm trying to place this image within the grid. Select this image section and move it according to the grid size. I'm reducing the size of this image a little bit. And trying to place it covering this yellow box. Now I'll add some text here as a banner. Let's see if we remove this particular grid how it looks like. I'm adding some text here, clicking on text, adding a space for the text, or text is like spice of your wedding style. Trying to change this size of this font. Say make it 48 or more than that. 64, fine. Now we'll add a button here. I made a little bit of adjustment in the space, and now it is looking better than the earlier. Okay, now we'll add a button here. For the button, I'm creating another rectangular shape and trying to give it a little bit of stroke. Just picking the color from here and placing and filling the color with some sort of effect. Some drop shadow. The fill color, for the fill color I'm using this from the logo, but it is not looking good. Instead I can use some dark color or this color. Black is looking good. Just I want to make this a little bit rounded shape. So is it possible to make some little bit of radius, like 10? Yeah, it is now circular. Let us add some shop now button here, text. The font size is 20 and shop now. Make it a little bit center. Okay. Now it is a slider, so I want to add a navigation button here. Just aligning this text and just click on the shop now and move it to the middle. Okay. Now I want to add a navigation here, left and right. So again I have to use some symbol, left arrow. Deselect this and the right arrow. Okay, these two arrows will work as a navigator of these slides. I can add some dots for explaining the number of slides here. Okay, so our header section is completed. Now you want to create a product list section. Here, this is first product. Just type the product name. I'm using a color a little bit less dark. Okay, and then the price. Let us make this color a little less dark. And a detail button. You can copy this button shop now and paste it. Just copy and paste, move it to here. Now you can select all these items all together and duplicate it for 3 times. Copy and paste. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Select all item, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Move this item, Ctrl V again. Move this item again, Ctrl V again. Move this item again. Okay. Now you can change this image property from here. Choose an image like this one. Okay, you can change this particular image again. Choose image like this. Okay. Here we are creating another call to action or lookbook section by placing an image. You can add a little bit of shadow over this image. From the library you can search shadow. For adding one shadow, and click the rectangle and place one rectangle shape on this text. Now change this color opacity to 50%. Now it is showing a kind of shadow, and top of that you can add one text here. Just use big font and write some text. Find the style that suit you best. Now here we are adding one button. Just place the text here. We're copying this button. And paste. We want to move this at the top. Bring font. Change this text to lookbook. Okay, let's see how you can make layers of group in Figma. Just select the items and place Ctrl G. It will create a group. Just to rename this group as product number 1. Okay, now if you hide this, the whole group will be deleted, will be hidden. So in this way you can create groups. Like, then select this item and create another group. Ctrl G, name this group as product 2. Then again select these items, group them, rename, Ctrl R, product 3, and these items are Ctrl G, name this item product number 4. Now there is a little bit of, so similarly you can group all these items relevant to this, and this section will be more manageable for the developer during the development time. So I'm selecting these items, Ctrl G, and the new group is renamed as the banner. So in case I hide this, the whole banner is removed. And this one is my navigation or header. So I'm selecting all those items and Ctrl G. This group is the header. Now we need a footer section. Okay, I'm selecting these items as a lookbook. Ctrl G. Now you can see this section is more manageable. Now I'm going to design the footer section, just filling a color, one color, using this rectangle. Now I am placing a single line, drawing a line here. It will be better if we view this particular desktop grid. Then I can see the length of this particular line. This line is actually filling this grid. The color of this line is white. Okay, and I'm drawing another line here. Just increase the thickness of this line a little bit like 2 pixels. Okay, and then drawing a similar line here. Just change the color and thickness. Okay, so this one is my subscribe button. I need a symbol, arrow sign. Place it here. Change the color to white. That's it. And I need an email. A little bit bigger. Using this plugin face or some icon, you can add Facebook, deselect this, reduce the size a little bit. Okay, then WhatsApp. WhatsApp is not available. Okay. Then Twitter. If any layer is moving when you are selecting something, then you can lock this particular layer. Just place it correctly and lock. Use this lock symbol. Now it will not move. Now still it is moving everything. Control Z. Okay. The rectangle is now locked. Now you can select these items and align them top alignment. Okay, and just change the color of all item. I'm going to use the fill color as white. Okay. And the title is follow us. Now I will add some text here in 2 column, and that will complete my head footer design. This completes our design. We have created a nice footer here. Now if I remove this grid and I'm going to export this whole design, or I'm going to share this as a, I can also publish this into the community as my work. Then other people can remix and change. Okay, so I'm sharing this. Export the just see the preview here. And this is the design. Oh, it is not displayed because maybe I'm just select everything and export as a PNG. Now Figma provides you a link for sharing with your designer or developer. So just copy this link. You can also embed this code and open it on your browser. Here you can see an export option here available, so you can export all these images as and the full images. So I'm exporting. Now with these images you can start the development. Here is the full image. Just open it with a browser and you can see Control O. Here is this page, a simple home page about the fashion store. We are going to develop this using our, so if you want to check how to develop this website, follow the other videos.